live. Today I have the honor of interviewing Gemz, a dope MC with over 10 albums available on digital streaming platforms. His most recent album, Vanish, is a banger. I'll stream it all day today. In 2023, he's released two projects, Vanish and The Happiness of the Night. We're going to bring him in and talk about his new projects, his long discography, what he's currently working on, and much more. Let's bring him in.
Peace, brother. Peace.
Peace, my man. Thank you so much. What an honor.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Thank you so much. My man, you've had a busy 2023. Vanish is a banger. Talk to us about that album.
Thank you. Yeah. So basically, man, me and my brother A1, we've been making bangers for a long time, man, like over 10 years now. It's just something that was long overdue, you know what I'm saying? So we finally got it out. We finally found the proper soundscape for it. You know, my vision for it was always I always thought A1 would do the production, you know what I'm saying? Because he's a genius in that area too.
Yeah.
But yeah, we found True Cypher, man, and what a perfect fit, man. Word up.
Yeah. Now that album, what movie or movies, you know, kind of give it that background? You got that video. Is that American Ninja?
Yeah. For the Suede Pegasus, I guess they're calling them visualizers these days.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We just video clips. But yeah, that was American Ninja.
Yeah, man. I remember that joint growing up. And there was part 2 has got the girl from Breaking in it.
Right.
That's that joint.
Super classic joints, man.
Yeah, people don't know about that.
Yeah. It's like I guess, like, I mean, top 5 ninja movies. Those are both in there. Both of those joints are in there for me for sure. Well,
yeah, that's really, really dope. You've been incredibly busy since 2020, right? So your discography dates back before that, but really in 2020 you amped the volume all the way up. You know what I'm saying? Just releasing a steady stream of incredible projects. In addition to Vanish, which just came out this month, right? Which is a banger. It's available on all digital streaming platforms. You also released The Happiness of the Night. Talk to us about that earlier 2023 project.
Yeah, that joint right there is special to me. You know what I mean? And that's why we doing another one. You know what I'm saying? The next solo album is Happiness of the Night too. But really that project was like a return for me to certain elements within myself. You know what I'm saying? Certain things like a certain approach to the music in terms of not giving a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I started The World Was Burning. You know what I'm saying? I dropped the album before that called Homeschool. You know what I'm saying? Where I was really intent on getting a certain message to people. You know what I mean? Like almost like kind of like screaming in their ear without them realizing it. You know what I'm saying? But after that, I felt like, damn, the state of hip hop and the way everything looked to me was plastic. Like everything around me just seemed, I'm like, damn, man, people are really going for the carrot and the stick hard body out here. So I started to doubt that people would appreciate a certain level of intellect or insight in the music. So, I almost wanted to say, yo, fuck this shit. You know what I mean? Like, forget about this hip hop shit really ain't where the rebels are no more. It started to feel like that. You know what I mean? And then just coming to, full circle realizing if I did that, then I would prove my own theory right by walking away. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. So
I was like, you know what? This Happiness of the Night shit is kind of like, I'm killing everything, man. I'm gonna give you the whole Spit Gems experience. You know, my name is a double meaning, right? It means to bring forth knowledge, but it also means, in New York we say a gem star is a razor blade. You know what I'm saying? So to do both, the war and I guess you could say the peace or the dark and the light has always been what I've done. I just feel like people misunderstand a lot of the dark music, right? So I'm bringing this anger, right, from this inferno, this pit, right, from my stomach, from all my life experiences, hardships, betrayal, you know what I'm saying, being imprisoned, all this shit is forever bubbling in me, right? So am I I making music to say, yo, go be stupid, ruin your life,
right?
Be violent for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm saying, yo, be strong, be that warrior, be that fucking savage in every aspect of life that allows you to bring forth growth. You know what I'm saying? Because that's exactly what my life has been a testament to.
Yeah.
So with Happiness of the Knife, I'm like, you know what? I'm pulling the motherfucking, I'm pulling the sharp shit out, man, because this gotta cut deep. They need that part of me. You know what I'm saying? The people need that savage part of me, man, because it leads to this right here where I'm at right now. You know what I'm saying? In sanctuary, in truth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Word up.
Yeah. No, man, so many gems from Spit Gems right there. You know what I'm saying? But see, you've actually lived. You've actually lived. You've gone through things, and on top of that, you've overcome adversity, and you've grown as an individual, and it become, you know, you've built your mind and your body, right, through this adversity. There's a lot of people, especially, you know, younger people that haven't lived the same things, that want to talk a lot and pop off a lot, but they haven't gone through it, and they definitely have not overcome it, right? You are on the other side of it now. Life is long. There's still stuff to go through, but you know now with a lot of confidence that with the knowledge you have and the belief you have and what you've already done and what you've already gone through, right, that you can overcome anything that's come your way, and that's coming across in your music.
Absolutely. That I appreciate that. That's a great observation, especially touching on the point where a lot of people, and this is the thing too, man. This is it's going to be a two-parted point, I guess, or reply, because there are a lot of people who do speak a lot of like super tough gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? And you know from experience, from life experience, when you're dealing with somebody like that. You know what I mean? And most of the time, when you're dealing with somebody like that, they were forced to become that way. It's not something that people genuinely aspire to. We were all little, beautiful, cute babies at one time. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is something people struggle with. People hate being that guy or being recognized for the guy that fucks the party up all the time. You know what I'm saying? Or makes it go to violence all the time. That's not a cool guy, right?
Yeah.
So when you never had to really, and I say earn, because in the street, it is kind of like a certain badge or a stripe when you're known to protect yourself, or you can be counted on to protect others, right? If you haven't earned that position, how can you go so far in the other direction and say, not only am I that guy, but I'm a fucking murderer.
Yeah.
I'm a cold-blooded murderer. Yeah. And it's like people are looking at this shit like, you know, but now here's the other part, you know, the other parts of that point is that this is art. You know what I'm saying? And if fucking Spielberg and fucking Quentin Tarantino could fucking drop 1,000 buckets of blood in a movie and kill 80,000 people, you know what I'm saying, and entertain you, then you gotta let people make the art that they want to make. You know what I'm saying? You can't. It's a struggle for me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times I want to pull people's cards, but also I want to kind of egg them on. Like, yo, go ahead, man. I'd rather you do it like this anyway. I'd rather it be on the beat. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's the toss. What's up, man?
You know, that's a really interesting point, because it's hip hop that makes it different. You know what I'm saying? When you watch a movie or even, you know, other forms of entertainment, in hip hop, what you're saying in your music is spit gems. It's spit gems. Nobody else writes your raps. And if you're doing something, even if it were fictional, right, it's a character that you're playing within a song that you've created.
Absolutely.
Right? Absolutely. So that's the unique thing about hip hop, is that when you meet that MC, he wrote those lyrics and he either lived it or that came out of his imagination.
Right.
And a real MC is saying, like, you know, this is a character that I'm creating for this song, right? And that's kind of where it gets kind of interesting.
And it's ill, because even when you have lived all of it, like, you know what I'm saying, you still understand that you're going into a character. You're going into, like, when you write something, you might be fueled with certain emotions and traumatic experiences. So you therapeutically, you're getting it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now you lay it down, right? I record this shit. I be there. Boom. I get it off. I listen to it. But now if I go perform it, you know what I'm saying? I might be in the best fucking mood all day. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to perform, eat lead, Abaddon, fucking, you know what I'm saying? So it's always gonna be a certain bit of acting there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, bringing the emotion about, bringing it back up. There's a little something there for all of us. So why hinder it or why cut people off? If they want to portray a character, let them do it, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So you mentioned, you know, the Happiness of the Night 2 is in the works. Is that the next one up?
Right now it's like we in the war room right now, basically, man. Just like looking at everything and trying to figure that out, you know, because Rikers Island Boxing School Part 2, me and my brother Eff Yoo, that's basically done. You know what I'm saying? And it's a fucking, it's a body bag, man. The shit is better than the first one. Straight up, it's better than the first one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Rikers Island Boxing School, for the people, you know, tapping in who may or may not know, Ribs, Rikers Island Boxing School, Spit Gems. Talk to us about that album, and then, you know, the one that, you know, is ready to go also. You got them loaded in the chamber.
Yeah, man. And so Ribs, you know what I mean? Rikers Island Boxing School is something me and my brother Eff Yoo put together, you know what I'm saying? When we joined forces, you know what I'm saying? Tag team, intercontinental world champion type shit.
Yeah.
We go under that banner, you know what I'm saying? The first one is just crazy. My brother's a super duper, my brother's like a boxing encyclopedia, you know what I mean? And I've always been a super avid boxing fan. I grew up like that. My father, my grandfather were crazy boxing fanatics, you know what I mean? I grew into like the MMA shit more, you know what I'm saying? Now for the last, you know, maybe 10
Too much politics,
15 years, man, it's been I've loved the MMA a little bit more than boxing, and that's just the truth, you know what I mean? But that whole, you know, we threw different names around. We had some ill ones that almost came out that made sense for us, but Rikers Island Boxing School made the most sense. You know what I'm saying? It's a real school. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an unfortunate school to attend, but it is a real school. Like, you know what I mean? You will learn how to throw your hands there.
Yeah. Well, and if you're on Rikers Island, it's probably a better thing to do with your time than to get caught up in other things.
Yo, God bless everybody on Rikers Island right now, because that place is literally crumbling apart, man. Wow. It's fucking falling apart. Wow. I mean, physically, you know what I mean? Fucking structurally, the integrity of the staff. Unfortunately, I know too much about these things, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, peace to everybody in the island, man. I hope you get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. Rikers Island Boxing School Part 2 coming soon, loaded in the chamber. Right, me too, man. I'm a boxing head. I'm an MMA head, and I also grew to like love MMA a little bit more because of all the politics in boxing.
Indeed.
Right, people don't want to fight each other. They want to keep that O.
Right.
But it don't. You know what I'm saying? It don't.
And
it don't impress me if you're 50-0. If you ain't fight the right people at the right time.
Indeed. No shots at Floyd.
No shots
Floyd.
At Floyd.
I gotta love. I don't hate him, you know what I'm saying, but I got a love relationship with him. I like what he did.
Businessman.
Yeah,
greatest businessman.
There's a lot of young boxers that benefited from his blueprint and his impact, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But the sport on a whole did not benefit from that, you know what I'm saying? So there needs to be some restructuring for sure.
Yeah.
But you know, when you got 19 different belts, you know what I'm saying? This is the thing about boxing that loses me. When you got 19 fucking, there's a belt here, belt there. Everybody's got a belt, right? And then you got all these fucking sanctioning bodies. I mean, it just seems like it's not even real anymore. Take the luster away from the belt in boxing is crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that's kind of what happened, you know?
Yeah. No, that's really, really good. I can talk boxing all day. I'm gonna probably come back and ask you just a couple of favorite fighter. Yeah, we're here right now. But what is you know, for the fans to know, related to Riv, related to Rikers Island Boxing School, the upcoming album, Rikers Island Boxing School Part 2 with Eff Yoo. So since we're in that landscape, right, what are some of the fights that maybe you and Eff Yoo looked at, some of the boxers, some of the things that kind of like inspired you, some of the greats out there that you're like, you know, this is the Mount Rushmore of boxing.
Yeah, well, you know, to speak for Eff, I know he's a big Roberto Duran fan.
Yeah,
for sure. You know, I mean, I'm a big Tito Trinidad fan. Mount Rushmore, I'm biased, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be Mike Tyson. Woo! There's gonna be Tito Trinidad. There's gonna be a Miguel Cotto up there. You know what I mean? I could do Sugar Ray Leonard up there for sure.
Yeah.
And I could easily put Marvelous Marvin Hagler up there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I say, I'm biased. These are the fighters that I grew up watching. These are the fighters that my father and my grandfather like kind of instilled in me. Sit down, watch this type shit. Like look at these dudes. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Mike Tyson is just a Brooklyn thing, man. It's just anybody my age, you know what I'm saying, from New York City understands Mike Tyson in a very different way than the rest of the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and the impact that he had in his era. A Mike Tyson fight was a very specific thing before Buster Douglas, right? Post Buster Douglas, he still had it. You know what I'm saying? But that before Buster Douglas era, it was an amazing, you know what I mean? That was a whole other.
It was a horrible night for Mike, man. I mean, you know, you can talk about the count. I don't know. I don't like the.
Yeah.
I feel like he got a real bad situation with that one, man.
Yeah, for sure. One last boxing question. Marvelous Marvin Hagler, Tommy Hearns, right? That one of the most incredible fights of all time, right? Is that up there in one of your top 5 fights?
For sure. There's no way. Yeah, absolutely. Wow. I think my favorite fight of all time is rest in peace, Chico Diego Corrales. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, what was that ninth round stoppage, man, 10th round comeback against Castillo. That's gonna be the greatest boxing match of all time. Or you could, another one. I love the comebacks. You know what I'm saying? I love the comebacks, man. Fucking Kelly Pavlik. Who was it that Kelly Pavlik came back against, man? When he came back from the dead, man.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, I want to say, damn, I forget son's name, man. I forget his name. That's one of the greatest comebacks too, man. Shout out to Kelly Pavlik, man, the ghost. Yeah. It'll come to me.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, like I said, I talk boxing all day. But yeah, I eventually moved away into MMA also because it was more clean. It was more like less politics. There's always politics, but it was less. The right people.
Yeah. I mean, there's no escaping the politics, right? To be honest, there's no escaping the politics. Certain shit you see even within the MMA and the UFC and all these organizations. You know, you're scratching your fucking head the same way you would be, you know, with a boxing event. You know what I mean? But I think it is, as far as the matchmaking, I think that's the sauce right there. You know what I'm saying? There's some bullshit going on for sure, but the matchmaking is pure. You know what I mean? And it's what you want every time. You know what I mean? Like, as a fan, you watching these dudes and you like, yo, they should fight. And they fight every time. You get every fight you want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They're trying to get the pay-per-view. So they're going to make the right people. They're going to put the people together to make you pay for the pay-per-view. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Yeah. So back to your amazing discography. Ninja Vanish dropped earlier this month. And then you had The Happiness of the Knife. And we were talking about The Happiness of the Knife 2, right? So you got Ribs 2 and The Happiness of the Knife 2. It's going to be an amazing fourth quarter and first quarter for you, right? Absolutely. You're kind of in the war room figuring it all out, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I got another solo project done as well. I don't have a working title or nothing like that for it, but it's all with one producer. You know what I'm saying? And then I have another EP. It's going to be just vinyl exclusive only release with a super ill DJ, man. I'm going to keep that one hush too for right now. You know what I mean? It's like probably like fucking spring 24. But no signs of stopping, man. We got shit in the chamber. And I got stupid fucking features coming out, man. Just tell these dudes to hurry up and write the fucking verse the best they can and put the features out.
Yeah, put them out.
Yeah.
You know, man, when you jump on the mic, your pen is vicious. You know what I'm saying? People got to come correct. That's
yeah. I've faced a lot of, like, you know what I mean? It's weird to say, man, and I'm not trying to fucking, you know, be like too Hasidity or, you know what I mean, too overly cocky, but this is a real thing, though. This is a real thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get in the studio with cats or you get around cats, or somebody will send you some, you send something back. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, certain shit just never comes out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What I do when they do that to me though, what I learn to do, and yo, anybody listening, man, all the MCs, man, straight up, listen, put a time period, you know what I'm saying, on your shit. You know what I mean? If you know you giving out fucking work, you know what I'm saying, and it's beautiful art, and the shit is, listen, bro, you got this long to use that. You need to let me know what's going on. You can't take verses from people and be holding up this habit that people got of like collecting verses, and then when they do release them, it's fucking 3 to 4 years later.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the MC has evolved, his pen might have changed, his view on things might have changed. So now you kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It's a nasty process, man. And especially in this day and age, man, there's no reason for it.
Word. Yeah. That's some good advice. So what you're saying is for the MCs out there that are either trying to get work or are, working and they are hit up for verses, put a time period on it. Hey, if this isn't out in 2 months, I may use this.
Yeah, put stipulations on it. Whatever you want, any kind of stipulations you want, whatever fits your desires and your projected outcome for this situation with this artist, or however this is going to be beneficial, even if it's just for the sake of, yo, I want to do something dope together. Right? That's it, right? But if I'm going to give you a verse from 2023, you know what I'm saying? You can't put it out in 2026. You know what I'm saying? And it just makes no sense. You know what I'm saying? So why not? Yeah, put stipulations on your shit. Tell people, yo, listen, you got a time limit. You know what I mean? Or it comes back. The fucking verse folds back up and flies back into my fucking crib.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You can use it for whatever you want. So
I'd rather the people get it. I'd rather the art go out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I think that the consumers would rather that too. You know what I'm saying? Because you have a strong, you've got a lot of supporters. You know what I'm saying? The people who discover Spit Gems or already know about you from, your career started years ago. You know what I'm saying? And have been following you and following the progression and are supporting you. So they want to hear what you got.
Praise God.
Going on.
Praise God.
You know what I'm saying? They want to hear it.
Nah, no doubt.
That brings a really interesting question, I think, right? What is your writing process like? A lot of MCs are different. Some people just go in and they flow and they piece it together. Other people sit down and they go to work almost like a job, right? They make coffee, they put on the beat, they loop it, and they just work. What's it like for you in your creative process?
That's fire. I do all of those. You know what I mean? There's no, I don't really have like one, you know what I'm saying? Like one thing I do. I definitely make coffee though. Like that's one thing I do on the regular is make a cup of Joe. You know what I'm saying? Before I get busy. But yeah, man, for a long time, there was a long period, and mad MCs and producers can attest to this, where I just didn't, I was aspiring to those stories about Big and Jay and certain cats just going into the booth, hearing the beat and writing it on the air. You know what I mean? Writing it on the wind, as we say. You know what I'm saying? But and I got ill with that at one point. Like I got ill with that. In my recent years, I do a lot of reading and a lot of studying. You know what I'm saying? Like I got volumes and volumes of books that are just full of just studies. You know what I'm saying? Subject upon subject. You know what I'm saying? I put myself in school constantly. But because of that process, you know what I mean, and because of it's increased over the years tremendously how often I do this. A lot of the rhymes come from those books, you know what I'm saying, where I'm studying. So it's just like now I'm compiling different shit, you know what I mean, and saving it for a certain time where I might go, all right, this is the beat, you know what I'm saying? Let me go through the scrolls because I got fucking jewelry in there and I know that, you know what I'm saying? And I got a bunch of shit in my mind usually floating around and things I want to tackle also, but I've learned to use both, man. You know what I mean? I'm still a pen and paper guy, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm hard body pen and paper. I'll use the phone as well. Don't get it twisted. I'll go on my notes and write some shit down, some ideas and all that. But a lot of pen and paper work for me. You know what I'm saying? And combination though, bro, for real.
Yeah, that's really dope. I have found at least a couple dope books from following you, especially in the homeschool era, where you had like you were posting different books and things where you were getting knowledge from, and I found some gems in there. You know what I'm saying? You are definitely a student of some of the greatest thinkers and some of the greatest books out there. talk to us about some of the most influential philosophers, thinkers that you've come across that you can share with people. Like, yo, you know, if you're not on to it yet, these books or this person is a dope person to learn more about.
Indeed. You know, Friedrich Nietzsche, you know what I'm saying, is somebody that I think, to me, you know what I'm saying, is probably my favorite. Like, if I had to pick, you know, like MCs and shit, right? You know, like my favorite MC, like,
my language.
Who got the illest bars, right? Like, Nietzsche is, I mean, probably the illest. And The Happiness of the Knife comes directly from that. You know what I'm saying? That's a direct pull from his work, you know what I'm saying, from Zarathustra. So, super influential on me, especially at a time, you know, and it's ill. I say at a time, I laugh at myself because I was going to say, you know, at a time when I'm struggling, when I'm wrestling with God, as we say, right?
Yeah.
And I say at a time, which is crazy because this is my whole life. I've been wrestling with God. You know what I mean? This concept of the Most High, of the All, of the Source, the Creator, all of these elements, right? So, yeah. But man, diving into Zarathustra, really, you know, I'm like, oh shit. And then from there, you know what I'm saying, is Twilight of the Idols, you know what I mean? And it gets, you start to really, like, I felt something real strong, like a connection and understanding, because everybody says, you know, the most famous thing that they pull from Nietzsche is God is dead.
Nah,
but
see that, and that's the thing, man. People,
it's completely,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And this is what I'm saying, though, but I never get that, right? I never get that from anybody who's read the material.
Right.
Anybody who read the material that I speak to comes back going, yo, I didn't get that, man. I feel like he was pointing towards a higher understanding of God. You know what I'm saying? And saying basically, yo, y'all killed God with this fucking bullshit. You know what I'm saying? With the doctrine and the dogma. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah. It's really more a critique of the organized systems around
indeed.
It, right? Of religion and the organized politics.
An indictment of priesthood, man. You know what I'm saying? And for good reason, I think, especially considering when it's written. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And then to consider that during his time, something I related to is like so strongly about his story is that he didn't really get no praise for the level of writing that he was putting forth while he was around. You know what I'm saying? He was kind of like, in that sense, not a failure, I'm going to say, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, when you count copies sold and you consider back then printing and pressing and everything, like he still was circulating, you know what I mean? But, you know.
Right, he was like a university professor with a small little stipend, and that's it.
Right. He wasn't the Ric Flair of fucking, you know what I'm saying, of his time, you know what I mean? But post his death, though, you know what I mean? It's crazy how fucking deep his shit goes now, you know what I mean? And it's can't think of a university probably anywhere that doesn't have a course. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that him and probably Karl Marx, and it's crazy because they're both German. I'm a nerd out. But they were probably the most influential thinkers of, in regards to the impact that they had on the 20th century. Right. So Nietzsche's ideas are all over pop culture, all over musicians, all over art, all over Superman, and you know, it's everywhere. His impact. And then Karl Marx is communism and the Cold War and everything that kind of was growing up in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and even now with China. So those two thinkers had the greatest impact on the world, right? But like you said, like he died, you know, not really known for that.
And not in the best condition, you know what I'm saying? Not in the most glorious way or you know what I mean? In the most high standards.
Yeah. That's really dope. So we got Friedrich Nietzsche. I think, you know, that right there, people can spend their whole life studying him. Is there any other thinker or book that, you know, has been a dope influence that you could like put out there for folks? I've seen pictures of the library. You got some gems up in there.
It's growing, man. It's fucking growing. I gotta get space in here because this what ain't gonna cut it, man. But one book I always try to point out to people is James Allen, As a Man Thinketh. It's something that was, and it's such a short book. You could call it a pamphlet. You know what I mean? Maybe. You know what I'm saying? But that had such an impact on my thinking and the way that I view life. Period. My abilities. You know what I'm saying? My ability to persevere. Yeah. That one small volume, you know what I'm saying? I would definitely you know, suggest people go pick that up, man. Indeed.
Yeah, that's a good one. I think he was from New York. I think that he was a pastor in New York, James Allen.
Yeah, changed his tune up a couple times in his life. But just, and these thoughts, you know, you can argue that that's not his original thought, right? As a man thinketh, so is he. And obviously it's not. We can go back and we're going to continuously keep finding shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, like people still call the fucking, you know, give Pythagoras the credit for the theorem. You know what I'm saying? When that's been, like, there's just a million different reasons, right? But what James Allen did in that small volume, though, with that information is where the beauty is, I think. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's dope, man. That's dope. I want to make sure that we talk hip hop though, because I'll geek out with you on philosophy and thinkers, like
no doubt,
7 hours. You know what I'm saying, my bro? I won't stop. So, but I want to get back to the happiness of the knife, the branding of it, the knife, the title of it is super dope. In regards to part 2, this is going to be coming up in the near future, right? What continues from part 1? You know, what connectivity is there? What should people who go back to listen to the first one to prepare for the second one, right? What you know, lore and universe are you creating with this now 2-part? And you know, we'll see how it goes, right? Is there going to be like a third? It could go forever because it's very dope. And like you mentioned earlier, hip hop needs it right now. There's a vacuum for people talking that real gritty with the intellect and the real life that you've experienced. So talk to us about the universe you're creating with these 2 volumes now.
Well, that's just it right there. Is I'm going to continue to cultivate this space for people who do have a deeper view of the world and do want to dive into maybe some of the fallacies that have been pushed on us from the beginning of our fucking lives, right? Yeah. So to say, right, this is the big lie, to say that the streets, you know what I'm saying, don't fuck with that is false. That's a lie. It's a big myth. It's a show that they put on, you know what I'm saying? So what we're going to do is keep hitting that nail on the head, because the thing is with the knife, right? Like, the knife is a tool. The knife is also a weapon. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what Spit Gems is as well, man. You could use these songs to build yourself up in a way that might make you prepared just for your day-to-day shit. Might get you in the gym. You might press 50 pounds more on this day because you connecting with this pain and this level of like, yo, I want what's mine. And when I say what's mine, I don't mean like limos and furs and minks. I want what's mine as far as respect for the mind of the youth that are involved in this culture. You know what I'm saying? Because the people that are suffering the most from this fucking myth that tough guys or people who really been through shit are not geniuses are the kids. There's no doubt about that, right? The children suffer the most because now they feel like they gotta be this whole other complete thing, weaken themselves, you know what I'm saying, degrade themselves in certain ways. And I'm not saying they making this art, oh, they're degrading themselves because they're talking about shaking that. No. Degrading themselves on an artistic level because it might not be the type of shit they really want to make. You know what I'm saying? So the importance of this happiness of the knife shit, man, and who knows how long it will go on, is deep to me. You know what I'm saying? This one makes the most sense. You know what I'm saying? Started with a gem star and it grew into a motherfucking knife. You know what I mean? So we're gonna keep this shit going, man, for sure.
Yeah. Now that's dope. And it's important to point out, man, that hip hop started, you know, really with like as positive stop the violence. You know, people were killing each other in the Bronx, and they started with breakdancing and finding ways to use art to take the gang life and the poverty and the social economic aspect of it and make something dope out of it. Then you had the message and you got Public Enemy coming, and you got 5% Nation of Islam and, you know, knowledge out there. And somehow it went from people selling drugs to now everybody's a druggie, popping pills.
I can't.
You know what I'm saying? People don't know.
Can't even explain how. You
know?
And it's cool, man. It's the thing to brag about. It's crazy how it got there. How the thing to be is a fiend. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, man.
Yeah.
Yo, even listen, the whole world knows. Anybody following, you know, they know I certainly have not been an angel my entire life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've made a lot of steps towards progress and growth. No question. I'm proud of myself. But even in my darkest days, right? It was never, the message was never, this is the shit to be in these bad positions. You know what I'm saying? It was always, damn, how the fuck did I get in this bad position? You know what I'm saying? Like, and how am I going to get out? You know what I'm saying? Now they aspiring towards that. It's almost like for a certain genre of music right now, that's the entry level fee is are you an addict?
Wow.
It's crazy.
I think that's a good segue to you are health conscious. You work out. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
You're strong. You take care of your diet. You know what I'm saying? Talk to us about things that you've learned about diet, about your health, changes that you've made, things that you've started doing, and things that maybe you've stopped doing that can help folks that listen to this.
No doubt. I went through so many trials and trial and error, trial and tribulation, fucking complete waste of time. You know what I'm saying? I never been a fad diet type of person. I never jumped on none of these flash fad diets you see on the internet and shit. But I tried being vegetarian. You know, I tried pescatarian. I tried to do even vegan at the tail end, at the tail of my vegetarianism. Like the last 4 to 5 months, I went complete vegan.
Right. No animal protein.
Nothing at all. Right. And that was eventful, but not in a good way for me.
Yeah.
Right. All of these different adjustments I've made over the years, I've gained. Like when I did the vegetarian diet, I benefited great. Like my stomach, my organs, certainly my skin, all of that certainly bears truth. And I believe that everybody should practice some form of vegetarianism, but in intervals. You know what I'm saying? You could do this for like 90 days. You could do this for 60 days in order to benefit your body in a way, you know what I'm saying, that you clean out your insides, you balance your gut health. You know what I mean? All of that I think bears truth. I don't know if it's sustainable for everybody. And that's why I don't promote it in that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, stop immediately. I'm not one of those guys. What I've learned for myself is that I need animal protein. You know what I'm saying? For myself. I need steak and avocados. That's my favorite shit. You know what I'm saying? But the number one jewel, if I could give anybody without being too overbearing and being too preachy, you know, that's why you see I'm walking a fine line with this shit, right? Because I know that it's a real touchy subject, man. It's the process shit though. If you make any conscious decision, right, towards health, stop eating this shit that is disguised as food. If you don't know what the fuck it says on that ingredient box, don't eat it, man. I mean, if you haven't done the full math of like what you're putting into your body, then that shit is crazy to me that you just willingly submit in that sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People will make these amalgamations of shit that looks like animal flesh, right? But it's plant-based.
Yeah.
And then shame people for eating actual meat. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I think a lot of this shit is trickery, and a lot of people just don't know any better. You know what I'm saying? They see these flash words, plant, they fucking put green, they put the color green on the labels a lot. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I feel like everybody's diet's going to be different. We all have a different genetic background to a certain degree, and we've all been accustomed to new things. So like you could talk about your ancestral lineage and how that affects your gut and what you take in as protein. There's truth to that. I believe in that. But you've also lived on this planet for X amount of time, and you've adjusted certain things. You've adapted in certain ways. Yeah, man, stay away from the shit that goes in the microwave only. Stay away from the shit that a list this long of ingredients that you know you can't identify. That would be the number one jewel, man.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. How often are you working out nowadays?
Every day.
Ooh.
Every day. Yeah, I don't dictate. Like days off come when like my body will let me know when it's time for a day off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I work a full-time job too as well. You know what I'm saying? So, and hard labor. You know what I'm saying? Physical labor. So, you know, I've adjusted my body to. It took a while, man, to adjust my body to where now I understand how. If I want to make gains, I know what I got to do. If I want to lose weight, cut. I got my metabolism on a fucking needle, man. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I work around my work schedule every day, one way or another. Even if I gotta get it at the gig, you know what I'm saying? Pull-ups and push-ups. So another thing I tell people, man, gym memberships are cool and it's dope to get fly all on the Nike tech shit and fucking go to the gym and take pictures and all that shit. And then 2 weeks later, it's over.
Yeah.
But the best shit to do, son, is push-ups, squats, sit-ups in your fucking crib.
Yeah.
Get used to doing it right in your crib and you'll never go wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. That's good, man. Dropping jewels there.
Yes,
You got an album called that you released last year, I believe, called Fuck the Radio, MTV. And then you got an earlier album called NTV, or the End of TV.
And the TV.
End the TV. End the TV sounds better. That's what it is. End the TV.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that. Talk to us about some of the ideas, because you know that album, the first one I think came out like in 2013. Then you got the one that came out more recently, I believe last year. And there's this theme going through. Talk to us about your thoughts on, you know, how that worked its way into those album titles and what it means to you, the End the TV. Right. What's going on with that?
So Fuck the Radio. Fuck the Radio. It was the first one, right? It was a full-length solo album. That was 2012, 2013. We was working on that, putting that out. The sequel to that was End the TV, right? So it's kind of like Fuck the Radio, End the TV, right? But I put END, End the TV, you know what I'm saying? Just to be fucking jazzy, you know what I mean? But
got it.
Essentially, what I was saying with those albums, right, is and this is what I mean, my stance, and they both came out back to back. The reason that the date says a recent year, it was 2014 or 13.
I see. That's what it was. Got it.
I re-released it. Yeah, I re-released it, put it back out. But my whole thinking and position on that type of shit is that we've been over TV for a long time. I always felt that way. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like the radio and television have such a bearing on hip hop and the fucking structural integrity of what becomes acceptable as being talented or skillful, that we become actors before we even know it. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of like wanted to say like, yo, son, you could be ill without none of that shit, right? So they say like the best ideas, right, come to you when you alone in silence. So it's like, yo, you don't fuck the radio and the TV. Shut that shit off. A lot of it is poison.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And shut the radio off, because you programming yourself to rap and move and act like what these dudes on mainstream radio say. Now, listen, I love the big radio stations, Hot 97. I grew up on these radio stations. Don't twist it. But there has been a significant change over the years and throughout the course of hip hop, especially in New York radio, for sure, what I can speak for. And at certain points, you just go, yo, this shit that they're playing is fucking nonsense. You know what I'm saying? So at that time, we was like, yo, we shopping shit around. We got different people coming to the studio, producers. A lot of shit I used to hear was, yo, you need a radio hit. You need a radio hit. Right. But what's the radio? And that was the response. You know what I mean? Fuck the radio, bro. It's a new age. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get directly to the people and give them the shit that they really fuck with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. And it kind of fits in with everything we've been talking about, right? We were talking about the mind, right? You're like, look at these original thinkers. We're talking about health. It's like, look, eat real food, man. If you don't know what it says on the box, get off of it. We're talking about TV and media. You're like, listen, man, have some judgment. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't just get fed.
Practice discretion.
Yeah, practice discretion. That's good. You recently did a music video, Criminal Gnosis, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, talk to us about that. It has rim in it. Talk to us about that music video. Mm-hmm.
Just a bit parched over here, man.
Yeah. I got mine right here. Water break.
Indeed. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, Crime Gnosis, man. Shout out to Rim the Villain. You know what I mean? Me and A, we when we were doing the Ninja Vanish project, we had a couple ideas for features. Everybody that we considered didn't make the cut out, obviously, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But somebody that I definitely wanted to work with, and I definitely wanted on one of my projects, was Rim the Villain. You know what I'm saying? So that verse,
dope, man. Rim's always got the bars. He always comes correct. The voice is so dope.
No doubt. A lot of respect for Rim, man. He puts a lot of work into the pen work, and you could hear it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit be flying right over people's heads too, man. Like I be having to like reinterpret some shit. Like, yo, look, son, you missed.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
He's good for that, man. A lot of respect for son. Word, man. But yeah, yo, that beat, man. That's one of them. You know, there's no drums on that beat, right? So I first get that beat, and I'm like, this shit sounds crazy though. I loved it. From the second I heard it, I'm like, yo, what is this fucking instrument? Took me a minute to figure it out, man. Finally, fucking True Cypher. He was like, all right, man, I'll tell you. You know what I'm saying? It's a fucking sitar. You know what I'm saying? It's like
got it.
Yeah, it's an ill instrument, man. So like, I'm hearing it. Like, yo, man, I start what the shit sounds like to me is a fucking early morning when I'm going to get a cup of coffee. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The original title of that song was Black Bustelo. You know what I'm saying? If you hear in the beginning of the song, two Bustelos black, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's a dope name too. You got the dopest song names for sure, because Black Bustelo is a dope name too. You keep that one in the top.
There's another artist, man. Shout out to I believe it was Crime Apple, man, who had a Bustelo brick. I wasn't aware of it at the time, you know what I'm saying? So we changed that title like right before that shit came out. You know what I'm saying? Like word up. The video, the whole thing. The video was a different video. You know what I'm saying? It was a whole different shit we had. I was like, you know what, man? I came up with the title. The Crime Gnosis is basically, you know what I'm saying? Like for people who don't understand what gnosis means, it just means knowledge. It means knowledge of a secret kind or a hidden kind, usually hidden within yourself. It's a very misunderstood word, and there's a lot of fucking Reddit, 4chan shit about it. That's nonsense, right? But shout out to all the scholars and scribes, man, who understand. Now, Crime Gnosis, it makes sense to me because if you listen to the verses, we all talking at some point in the verse either about some revelation within us related to getting away from crime, you know what I'm saying? Or an experience that we had with crime that might have given us some type of inner revelation or something like that. So the shit just made perfect sense to me, man. That was a buzzer beater, man, for real.
Yeah. Dope video, incredible song, really dope feature. You've got another music video from another older track that's probably one of the best back and forths in hip hop all time, called 200 with NEMS. Yeah. Talk to us about that track and that music video. That's a joint that we need a part 2. Y'all need to do 400. You know what I'm saying? Talk to us about that joint.
Might be around the corner, something like that. Something like that might be around the corner. But yeah, man, just shit, man, just a benchmark moment for me, man, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Yo, a beautiful experiment, man. Just let's see what we could do together. You know what I mean? Just bouncing ideas back and forth, man, live in real time, not emailing no fucking shit like that. Let's take as much time as we need to do it and bring our best out. You know what I mean? And I always say, man, this mad shit that didn't make it onto that song. You know what I'm saying? When I look back to that session, I think of the bars that did, you know what I mean? We edited shit out. Like, all right, we're not gonna use this, you know what I'm saying? Let's use this instead. And it's kind of crazy. Like that song could have been even longer. That shit could have went to 300 just that first time. You know what I mean? Word. Yeah. Word. Shout out to NEMS, man. Shout out to my bro.
Yeah. No, that's really, really dope. You have another track that I don't think there's a music video for it, but I really enjoyed it and I wanted to ask you about it, which is Eat Lead. right? That joint is a banger, right?
No doubt.
Talk to me about that track. You know, what was going on in your thinking, and was it one of those joints that the beat was just so hard, you're like, I'm gonna just go catch some bodies on this joint right now. It's just, I'm gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, what this is ill, man. I'm gonna tell you another story about. It's like, see, that song had a different title as well, right? I heard that beat as soon as Chef Silencer sent me that beat. I thought of fucking old time gangsters, late 1920s shit, 1930s type shit. I was gonna name this song off the rip. My favorite, yo, Dick Tracy is one of my favorite fucking movies of all time, right? Yo, when I was a kid, I used to fucking steal the baseball card, the Dick Tracy trading cards and all that, go in the store. Yeah. Yo, I was crazy. I had the toys, the action figures. They were fucking just like Ninja Turtles, but with yo, oh man, I was a fanatic. So I'm hearing this old gangster style shit, and I'm like, yo, this shit sounds like a fucking, like a Studebaker, son, like a old hit about to happen. So I start penning it, you know what I mean? 29 Studebaker, Tommy on my lap. The whole thing is me, the whole first verse is me just rapping as if like now, I had in my head Flat Top from Dick Tracy. That was my favorite character. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
you gonna make me go back and watch the movie.
Yeah. He was my favorite, man. What I noticed right at the same time, there's a kid, shout out to Emilio Craig. Son is nice, man. He got a video wearing the fucking Flat Top mask. So I peeped this shit and I'm like, oh man, you know what I'm saying? Like, see, I'm somebody like, yo, real shit. I don't even care if I thought about it first or if I recorded the shit 2 years. Like, if you get to it before me, you know what I'm saying? If you get to something before me, I'm not gonna coattail your shit.
You gonna change
like,
it up.
Coattail my shit. I don't do that. We don't play that game. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's my shit, it's my shit.
That's
you know what I'm saying? If it's yours,
that's the way it is.
Word, man. So out of respect for son, I seen that and I was like, yo, I'm a dead the Flat Top shit. You know what I mean? Like the whole. But I'm gonna keep the verse. The verse I'm keeping, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, change the title up, you know what I mean? And just kept it pushing. Yeah. Word, man.
Yeah, that's really, really dope. That's dope, man. The that brought a question to mind that I think, you know, cats will find interesting, which is, you know, you name some literature and some great thinkers. You spoke to us also about diet. We're talking about your incredible discography, right? But you mentioned Dick Tracy being one of your favorite movies. What are some other movies that have had an impact on your life that are favorites or that, you know, are dope flicks that are like, yeah, these joints right here?
Yeah, nah, no doubt. Obviously, me and my family, my whole entire family, my daughter, my wife, you know what I'm saying? Our shit is Bronx Tale, probably the greatest, probably our best movie of all time. You know what I mean? Like we watched that like, you know, on the schedule. Like, that shit is like, but nothing else, but put Bronx Tale on.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but for me, my favorite movie, personally, just me, you know what I'm saying? Like, is There Will Be Blood with Daniel Day-Lewis. That's, I think, to me, one of the greatest films ever made of all time, and probably the greatest performance of all time, for sure.
Yeah, that movie is super dope and slept on because it's so real life. It's so real life. Yeah, nah, it's crazy, and it's not a true story. It's not a true story, but it's based on real, true events, and there are people, you know what I mean, that do reflect real life characters from that time. It's actually based on a book, loosely based on a novel that was based on real people type shit. You know what I mean? Got it. Yeah, nah, that's a good one. That's a good gem. We talked about the incredible fourth quarter and early 2024 you're about to have. The Happiness of the Knife Part 2 is going to be coming out. Rikers Island Boxing School Part 2 is going to be coming out. Sure. There's some other projects that you've talked about that, like, look, you've got this in the works, but they're not ready to be released yet. So a lot's going to be going on for you. Any other thing as we start to wrap up, do you want to share with us as far as upcoming video work, projects, any shout outs you want to give out? Yeah, man. Just yo, shout out to you first and foremost, man, for having me on. I appreciate it. And I genuinely appreciate what you're doing on the whole. As I told you before, man, just like the artists you covering and the style, it's clean, the aesthetic, the whole shit, man.
Much love, man. Word up. Much appreciated. But yo, shout out to the home team, man. Shout out to the whole home team, man. All my people, they know who they are. A1, Eff Yoo, my brother NEMS, Thurston Howell, Low Life. You already, man. We here. Ayak, Sun Low. All my people, man. Shout out to my whole family. We gonna keep this shit pushing. I got, you know, as stated, man, a strong catalog of work for 24. Much more visuals coming out. The merch shit I'm about to do is retarded. I got plugged in, man, with the merch shit right now. I'm about to go stupid with that. And we just gonna keep it pushing, man. Keep everything. You know, people always say, yo, what are you doing? Like, what's the new thing you're doing? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that's the difference between me and these fucking fad hoppers.
Yeah.
I'm not doing nothing new. I'm just making what I do better. I'm sharpening this knife over and over until it's invincible. You understand? Like, yeah. I'm gonna keep it true to my core people, man. Like, I fuck with y'all. Y'all fuck with me. It's a godsend, man. I'm big on God, man. I'm big on belief and faith, and I'm big on feeling like this is all for a purpose. You know what I mean? Yeah. None of this shit is by chance. And the people who support and rock with me, they not there by chance either. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna keep it true to them. Word up.
That's good, man. That's good. For people who want to get some merch, right? I saw the Happiness of the Knife merch. Your visuals are incredible. Every album cover comes correct, right? For people who want to pick up, whether it's, you know, music merch or shirts, what's the right place to go to connect with you for merch now and upcoming drops?
Absolutely. The link is in the bio. We are right now, I'm actually maybe in about 30 minutes, there's going to be a few new items added to the store as soon as I'm done with this call. You know what I'm saying? But the link is in the bio, man. Just go to the Instagram at Spit Gems. You already know, man. Everything is right there. I always keep all my call shit, all my new updates right there. Yeah. However, there is a Patreon coming. There is a Patreon coming for the new releases and for the exclusive and a lot of behind the scenes showing my work process and shit like that. So just stay tuned, man. But I'll put that link in my Instagram bio as well.
That's dope. Upcoming Patreon.
Indeed.
Hit the link in the bio for merch. My man, you have an incredible year coming up. Your discography is amazing. I am a supporter. I love your music and what you're doing. Your pen game is incredible. And I love your mind and how you build it and how that comes across and the way you put words together, man. The song titles, the album titles. You know what I'm saying? You're a rapper's rapper, for real. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that, brother.
It's been an honor, my
Thank you for
bro.
having
Thank you so much. We'll run it back sometime in the future.
All right. Say no more, man. Have a good one.
Peace, my bro.
Peace.